Hello, very good morning. It's 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and this is your Nanda Kumar K V. Thank you very much for tuning in again. And as you know, we are live on Facebook and also on YouTube. And today we are going to discuss something really interesting, and I'm sure it's going to be a great knowledge uh, store ahead. I'm sure you're going to be richly blessed. Just make sure that my voice is audible. Just make sure that the voice is audible. Hearty welcome to all the people. Yeah, please do like and share. Please do like and share the video. Whatever state you are, please share it with all the Indians in the USA. It's such a joy. I mean, we are getting so many queries, the new people going in, the W4 queries. And I thought, because everything is routed to W2 and that the I plan is becoming so popular, thanks to our clients, thanks to the HR heads, compensation benefits heads, and thanks to all our beloved countrymen also, because at iLead we are able to ensure the planning, compliance, and filing of both USA and India especially, and I'm sure our clients are also having a wonderful service experience, right? So please keep sharing this. Please tag someone you know. Please share it in all the pages. And if you have an internal working group, please share the link with your team too. Okay, so as you rightly see, so today we are going to talk about the 10 things that you should be knowing about your paycheck, and this is going to be a wonderful piece of information. I would say, a knowledge house, you can say. If you are a first time filer, I'm sure you are going to get so much information from this wonderful video. Okay, so I would leave it to you to comment, if this video is wonderful or not. Having said that, please go through the contents. So we will be talking on these 10 things today. Understanding the tax system, understanding the tax year and the filing deadline, understanding the filing type, filing status and tax forms, understanding the tax benefit of dependents, understanding the W4, W2 and paycheck, then the tax implications of getting W2 from multiple states, then how to maximize your paycheck, and then ensuring tax compliance along with tax filing, and then tax implication of 1099 and foreign income, and then how to focus on tax planning and not just on tax filing. Fine. So having said that, let me give you a quick introduction about myself. I am Nanda Kumar K V. I have two businesses. I run an LLC wherein I serve people with their their personal and business tax needs at iLead Tax LLC. And we also run an academy and we produce America's highest tax experts, licensed tax experts, enrolled agents. I'm very much motivated by this quote of Robert Kiyosaki, who says that academic qualifications are important, and so is financial education. They are both important, and schools are forgetting one of them. What do you say? What do you say? Are the schools not forgetting one of them? Are the schools not forgetting one of them? Maybe the real financial education on how to manage your money. I mean, we are all asked to file the taxes, and many are still under the impression that, okay, the filing time has not yet come. But boy, it's your hard-earned money. It's your hard-earned money, and you got to, if people like Robert Kiyosaki, if the financial gurus, if the business mentors are talking about the importance of money and the financial management, I think we should also pay an ear to that. And we cannot take it lightly. Fine. So this is something about me. I've been in the industry since the tsunami of 2004. So thank you very much for honoring, and thanks to the media partners also for appreciating our work of serving the Indians in the USA, for creating the employment, and also helping the people who are on dependent visa also with earning opportunities. So if you want to know more about that, please feel free to contact our office, and we will be happy to help you. Fine. So without any delays, let's get started on the 10 things that you must know about your paycheck. As you're watching this video, if this is creating any excitement to you, please give it a like, comment, and let us know that you are here with us, right? Fine. Even this one, I love this quote. Vince Shaw. He says college graduates spend 16 years gaining skills that will help them command a higher salary, yet little or no time is spent helping them save, invest, and grow their money. Oh, is that so? Is that true? You must have come a hard way to US, right? Especially people who have come to the US for the very first time. I mean, the kind of efforts that you must have put into your education, the kind of efforts or investment that you might have made at your workplace, I mean, only you know that, right? And to manage that money, I mean, if you have studied like 16 years to gain those skills or to get that salary, what are you doing? Are you spending at least 16 minutes to plan it properly? Do you have a consultant? Do you have an advisor? Do you have somebody who can minister to your tax, accounting, or financial needs? Did you ever think about that? If you have not, I encourage you to consider us. Please stay tuned. Fine. So today's presentation, whom are we targeting? Who do you think can be benefited from today's presentation? So today's presentation is primarily focused on those people who are new to US tax system, who do not know how to fill a Form W4, who want to avoid excess tax withholdings, or who are an alien or non-immigrant worker. Hey Nanda, I have been filing taxes since since a long time, and this is going to be a cakewalk for me. I don't think I need to be tuned in and watch this session. Maybe you're absolutely right, but I challenge you that you will definitely be missing something. Why don't you prove me wrong and stay tuned, right? And if you have been a leader or a manager or a head in the industry, why don't you please take a moment to share this with your team so that they can also be educated. Fine. Let's go one by one, okay? Let's take up the first one. Understanding the tax system in USA, federal, state, and local. Fine. Okay, how does the tax system work in USA? Okay, this is how it goes. They say that in US you got to file more than one income tax return. Hey. And paying taxes itself is a great thing, and you're saying, more than one income tax return. What is this, man? Yes, absolutely. Paying taxes is a pain. Even I don't like paying taxes. That's why I start planning taxes, right? And I practice, what I preach. So let's take a look here. So first one, it says filing more than one income tax return. So what do I mean by that? Especially if you are from India or any other country, the way the tax system works here is that you file only one tax return, one income tax return. But in US, the way it works is you may have to file for federal, you may have to file for state, you may also have to file for local. So are you aware of that? And how do I know if I have to file for all those things? Okay, this is how you come to know. You have to file for country, for state, and city. Now country, we call it as federal, state is state, and city could be local. Now, if you are from any of these 9 states, because we run an academy also, and we also have LLC, just to teach the students, the fast name and wealth. The today's generation, they want, everything fast name and wealth, right? So we came up with this small acronym, fast NW, okay? TNW underline, it means there are 2 states with each alphabet there, okay? So what do I mean by that? Okay, these are the tax-free states: Florida, Alaska, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Nevada, New Hampshire, Washington, and then Wyoming. So what do I mean by tax-free states? So don't I pay any taxes to federal? No, it's not like that. Federal is not exempt. Okay, yes, federal is not exempt. Now, let's talk about the states. If you are somebody who is residing in any of these states, in these 9 states, the good news is you need not pay the state taxes, you need not pay the local taxes, right? However, if you are somebody who is residing in these states, KMNOP, again acronym here, KMNOP, what's this? Kentucky, Michigan, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Oh. So if you want more information on how much will be the tax rate that will be applicable to you, I request you to please WhatsApp us on 234 hi iLead 234 444 5323 in case you need any assistance, or if you have any questions, please WhatsApp us or text us or email us, and our team will be more than happy to help you. State subject to city taxes, right? KMNOP. Then state subject to county taxes. Okay, what are these county taxes? Okay, I am. Okay, I am Indiana, Iowa, and then Maryland. So in US, just this first line. So if you're somebody new to US, you just got to check, if you're subject to these states. I mean, if you're subject to these taxes because your filing status, your marital status, and the state where you are residing. The state where you are residing. So your family status, your marital status, and your residential status, the state where you are residing, has a tremendous impact on your taxes, right? Stay tuned to know more. Fine. Now, let's understand how the tax year and the filing deadlines work. Okay, here we have a wonderful chart for you. Okay, let me just explain it to you. The first one, you see, is the tax year. The tax year, right? The tax year in US is calendar year. It is calendar year. It means it begins with 1st of Jan and it ends on 31st of December. Yes, of course, there are fiscal years also. We are limiting today's discussion. So in case people, you are CPAs or somebody, hey Nanda, you said, federal tax are not exempt, that this and all. Okay, this is not the forum. We are just trying to educate, the people on, what are the elements that they need to look into if they are the first time filers in USA, or if they are new to USA, or they still feel that, their tax accountant or their tax consultant or the CPA never educated them, on the various aspects that they might be looking for. So maybe you are wonderful, maybe you guided your clients well, but not everyone does that. Now, let's come back. So tax year is calendar year, okay? It begins with Jan 1st and it ends on December 31st. And then for all the work that we do, we get a certificate, right? The wage statement. Just like how you get Form 16 in India, similarly you get Form W2 in the US. And of course, if you are somebody on contracting, you get 1099. And also if you have any other income like interest income, dividend income, anything into stocks, shares, and then retirement, or if you are an independent contractor, you must be getting those source documents also by Jan 31st. Now remember, the filing deadline for all these, for all the incomes that you make, the filing deadline is again 15th April. It was only in the first time in my last 16 years, I think I noticed that the tax deadline has been moved to July 15th, for 2019 because of the corona, right? So it was moved to July 15th, and not only the extension to file, it also gave the extension to pay the taxes until July 15th. Anyways, that is past, but let's talk about 2020 now, okay? And in case you want to file extension, you get 6 months time, and remember here, this 6 months you get time only to file your tax return, but not to pay your taxes, okay? So just to cut the long story short, the tax year is going to be the calendar year. whatever income you made from Jan 1st of 2020 to December 31st of 2020, okay, you will be getting your W2 by 31st of January next year, because you're new to US, or maybe you're not familiar with these timelines. I'm just guiding you on that. And in case you have any other income also, I mean as a non-employee or as an independent contractor, or interest during retirement income, or any other income, mostly the source documents you must be having it by Jan 31st. Okay. And the filing deadline is April 15th. I mean, you need to file your tax return, and you have to ensure that you have paid all your taxes also by April 15th. In case for some reason you're not able to file your taxes on time, then you can apply. You don't get it, you have to apply for it. Okay. At least the application for extension must be made within the due date. Okay, so even if you are a student, or even if you are a new joinee working, in a CPA firm or a firm like ours, okay, this could be a very good, wonderful education for you, right? Share your comments; it will encourage us to serve better. Fine. What are other source documents? Okay, these are other source documents. Okay, if you have any of these incomes, you must expect these source documents. So if you have interest income, you can expect 1099 INT. If you have dividend income, you must be expecting 1099 DAV, retirement income 1099R, social security benefits, SSA 1099, state and local tax refunds Form 1099G, unemployment compensation. And in this year, you will have so many. You will have so many unemployment compensations coming in. And then independent contractor, you will have 1099 miscellaneous, rents or royalties, 1099 miscellaneous, income from shares, stock securities, Form 1099B, and income from pass-through entities, Schedule K1. Okay, that's it on the different incomes. I mean, this year we have seen the good, bad, and the ugly also. I mean, I always tell my team also, when there is scarcity, it is always the quality dominates. I repeat, when there is scarcity, it is always the quality that dominates in whatever industry. So whether it's your workplace, whether in business, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going, right? The quality matters, not the quantity. So we have seen, the big giants fall. So keep improving. And improvement should not only be on a personal level, but also on a financial level. So I wish you good luck. Now, the third one, understanding the filing types, the filing status, and the tax forms. Okay, what are these filing types? I mean, this should be pretty easy for you. See, there are 3 ways how you can file your tax returns. I mean, ideally 2 ways, e-filing and then paper filing. E-filing, you get your refund. When you file your taxes, you get your refund in 7 to 21 working days. And if you are doing a paper filing, I mean, in case you are filing it manually, then you get your refund in 4 to 6 weeks, or sometimes it can also go up to 6 to 8 weeks. Now, when do we file paper filing? Especially when you are doing an ITIN, when you are applying for an ITIN. I have made an exclusive video on ITIN. I would encourage you to watch this video with your family so that you know the process of applying for ITIN. Now, what do I mean by ITIN? ITIN is for those people who do not qualify for SSN, right? So because you are authorized to work in US, you have SSN and all, just in case you come there with your parents or your spouse who is not in employment yet, and your dependent kids or somebody, they don't get SSN. But having them on the tax return, I'm coming there, the filing states I'll come in a while. Having them on the tax return can be a blessing for you. That's why it said, children are a reward from the Almighty. So I'll tell you in a while, how you can be benefited from claiming your dependents on the tax return. Fine. Again, we have something called as amended returns. I mean, in case you made a mistake, you did not knew how to file your taxes, somebody did not guide you properly, you missed out on an important deduction. Maybe after watching this video, you thought that, okay, I missed out something on my previous year's tax return. No worry, just WhatsApp. Fine. Okay, that's on the ITIN. Please do subscribe. Please like our channel, as you are watching this. Please do like our channel. Please give a like to the video. Please share. Yeah, I'm seeing the comments coming in. Wonderful, wonderful. I will take up the questions at the end. Yeah, both on YouTube and Facebook. I'll take up the questions at the end. Okay, let's talk about the filing status. Filing status. Okay, what is this? Let me give you a little backdrop about this filing status is all about. Say in India, as I said a while ago, we file one return, okay, and that also husband files a separate return. I mean, wife files a return separately. But in US, the way it works is that they have an opportunity to file the return jointly, and that's a wonderful advantage for them, where it saves them so much in taxes. So ideally, there are 4 filing status. Of course, it is 5, but I categorized it into 4: single, married, head of household, and then qualifying widower. Okay. Now, single, you know that somebody who is unmarried or who is legally separated. Married, you have 2 options. You have an option whether to be jointly, whether to file jointly, or whether to file separately. I mean, separately doesn't necessarily mean that they are going through some hustle, but separately is ideal for couples who have high incomes. In case both of them are making high incomes, now normally if they are highly compensated employees, right? So somebody who is making more than $130,000. So for 20 somebody who is making more than $130,000 is considered as a highly compensated employees. Okay, now don't ask me, Nanda, what do I get in that 130K? I leave that to you. Maybe you have not optimized that money properly, or maybe you have not engaged somebody like us to plan your money better. So filing MFS might be beneficial in case both you have high incomes. Now, head of household is like you are the head of the family and you support the dependents and all, that comes into picture. And in case your spouse has not lived with you for the last 6 months, those are the situations where you can take up the head of household. And then qualified widower, this is a status wherein somebody lost his or her dear one and is like not remarried for the next 2 years. So for that next 2 years, you will be claiming the qualifying widower with dependent child. So if you are still confused, which filing status to claim, mostly the filing status will hang between just single and married filing jointly, and exceptional cases married filing separately in case they have high incomes, but rarely into head of household and then qualified widower. So now the tax returns, what kind of tax returns do you be filing? These are the tax returns that you would be filing: 1040, 1040 NR, and then 1040 SR. Okay, what is this new form? People who have been in the US for a long time, must be wondering this something for the senior citizens. Okay, so if you are a citizen or a resident or a national, file form 1040. If you are a non-resident, file form 1040 NR. And if you are a senior citizen, I mean age 65 years and above, you got to file form 1040 SR. Now, the 4th element, understanding the tax benefits of dependents. Family is everything, right? Who are your dependents? Okay, your spouse is not your dependent. Hey, she'll kill you, okay? Your spouse is not your dependent. Now, that's very important, okay? So spouse is your co-applicant on the tax return, okay? So spouse is not your dependent. So regardless of whether she is working, Nanda, she is not in employment, okay, she doesn't have any earned income, absolutely fine, bro, but still, she's not your dependent. Okay. First one, your spouse is not your dependent. She is a co-applicant. Next one, you can claim any or all of the following. Okay. What's that? Okay, kids below 19 years. Okay. Parents or in-laws. Okay. Brothers or sisters. Okay. Others whom you support, paternal or maternal relatives, and then their annual income must be less than $4,300. Okay. Now here, coming to the kids, okay, below 19 years, but ideally I would say for the child tax credits, 17 years. I mean, they must be below 17 years. I'll be talking about that also in a while. And then in case both of you are working, I mean husband and wife both are working, and you put the baby in a daycare or something, in that case the child must be less than 13 years. I mean, based on the credit that you are claiming, the age of the child also varies. Like normally, by default, it's under 19 years, and in case the person is studying, it is under 24 years, and in case he is like physically or mentally challenged or differently abled, or yeah, in those cases there's no age limit as such, right? So that's about the dependents. Now, next one, understanding the form W4, W2, and the paycheck. Okay, now we come to the main matter. Okay, how many of you know about W4, or you still want to know about it, right? W4. At most places, you got to submit it within 3 days, 5 days, or max is like 1 week, right? So last week also we happened to do a conference with one of the companies where we were able to advise more than 200 employees, on how to comply with the federal, state, and tax compliance. But I felt the time wasn't that great, wherein I can give all this information. So I thought, why not come live and make it available for everybody, right? So understanding the form W4, W2, and the paycheck. Okay, this is how the W4 looks like. This is how the W4 looks like. Box 1, your wages. Box 2, federal income tax withheld. Box 3, your social security wages, social security taxes withheld. Then Medicare wages, Medicare taxes withheld. Okay, media team, will you be able to zoom in so that I can just educate our friends a little better, right? Yeah. Okay. How do we do this? Okay. So let's assume, wages are like 60,000. Okay. And let's take, is in 10% bracket or something. These are just, assumption numbers, these presumed numbers. Now, social security wages 60,000. Okay. This is also 60,000. Now, how do we calculate the Medicare wages? Okay. Now, this is going to be 6.2% of 60,000. Now, this is going to be 1.45% of 60,000. Getting it? 1.45% of 60,000. Okay. This number will come here, and this one will come here. And these are also known as FICA taxes, right? Your social security, the students must be rejoicing now. Social security taxes and then Medicare taxes. You must be thinking, okay, I'm an IT professional. Why do I need to know so much about this? I will still say, my friend, it's very important that you know all these things, okay? And then if your employer is very kind, and if he has given you some dependent care benefits, the dependent care benefits, if any, will come here. And if you have, if you're covered by a retirement plan at work, let's say you have a 401k or something, you will have this box checked, okay? And if you have any other income, in case your moving expenses are reimbursed, or you have some income from stocks, or any other, reimbursements or anything like that, all those incomes will be coming here, and then any other income, it would come here, okay? Other boxes, what we are not discussing is not that important, okay? So we have taken a tour from box 1 to box 4, okay? Any questions, please ping in the comment section, okay? And this, you please leave it to your employer. Even this, you are going to get it only from your employer, so we are not going to do any major work on this, nor are you, okay? This is your employer's job, but it is important that you understand this, okay? Now, this 60,000, let's say you are from California, and then you have your California state ID number, your California wages, let's assume, like some 7%, 2,200. Now, California, I think I told you, they are not in KMNOP, right? California is also not in IIM, right? So, no local wages. Just to give you, a ballpark figure of how a W2 looks like. I would encourage you to watch this video again. Okay, so this is how W2 looks like, right? Fine. Now these W2s, who all will be having these W2s? Okay, these are the people who will be having these W2s. Okay, employer, employee, IRS, state, local, and then Social Security Administration. Sometimes clients ask, what if I missed how the IRS is going to know about this, or how the State Department is going to know about this, sir or ma'am? Each one has a call, right? So better not miss, right? Better not mess with them. Yeah. Then we move on to understand the paycheck. Okay, this is how the paycheck looks like. Okay, I just explained you a while ago. This is how the paycheck looks like. Okay. Media team, can you please zoom this for us? Okay, let's watch it on the board, how it looks like. We just told about that 6.2% and then 1.45% and all. Okay, we have just taken some numbers. Just see if that works out. Okay, salary is 1538. Okay, this is calculated. The federal income taxes are calculated based on W4 that you submit. We will come to W4 in a while. Okay, coming to the FICA taxes, right? I told you these are called FICA taxes, right? Social Security and then Medicare. Now, Social Security, I think I told you it is 6.2%. Medicare will be 1.45%. Okay, so I leave it to you to please calculate. I mean 95.38. Okay, by 1538.46 into 100. Okay, so this is going to be your Social Security taxes, and I'm sure it will be 6.2%. Now, how about this one? This one 22.31 by 1538.46 into 100 is equal to 1.45%. Okay, just to understand your payslip, and these are your state deductions of course state disability insurance, your total pay, then your total deductions, then your taxes, and this is the net pay that you get every month. And our job is to make sure that you have a higher net pay, that you have a higher take home, without having to give interest-free loan to the IRS. Yeah. I mean, if you are not filing your taxes properly, and if you are making too many deductions on your paycheck, just because you're not planning it properly, I think you're giving interest-free loan to IRS, and I don't like that. Fine. Now let's come to the most important segment, W4. Now we have been talking about W4, that, this, and all, right? Now what is this W4? What is this W4? Okay, this is how a W4 looks like. Okay, this is how a W4 looks like. Okay, the form and all the form is new for 2020. We have a new form. This is how there are 4 steps that is involved in filling up the W4 form. Step 1, step 2 comes here, then step 3 and 4, 5, and then there's a separate deduction sheet that you have to do. Okay, so this is how the W4 looks like. Okay, a question may come to your mind as to why do I fill this form W4? Why do I fill this form W4? Yeah, fine. So let's take a look. How does the employer know? Unless you tell him about your family, unless you tell him about the deductions that you are going to claim, how does the employer know? Okay, I will walk you through the W4 form separately. Okay, first let's understand why we need to fill a form W4. The first point is the employer can withhold the correct federal income tax from your pay. That's the very first reason why we are doing that. Next one, if less taxes are withheld, you will pay due at the end, and you may also owe penalties, right? In case you don't have proper withholdings, if you're not ensuring that your taxes are withheld properly, at the year end, you are going to have estimated tax penalties for underpayment of taxes, right? Next, if more taxes are withheld, you will get refund at the end. Now people think that okay, somebody who is giving me more refund, I should go to that consultant. Yes, you're partly right, but if you have been planning right from the beginning, I mean, why give an interest-free loan to IRS? Why do you want to do that? Why don't you start planning from today, right? Okay, and then submit a new W4. When to submit a W4? When there's a change in your family or financial situation. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by change in family or financial situation? Change in family situation means from single to you're getting married, from married to becoming a parent, from a parent you become, you're having another child, or you got into a different job or something like that, right? Next, the new Form 20, the 2020 W4 doesn't use withholding allowances as in the previous years. So as I told you, this form is new for 2020 and it has gone through so many changes. Okay, so I'll walk you through that line by line in a while. Stay tuned. I hope you're enjoying the sessions. Now, can there be no withholdings? Okay, Nanda, I understand that I have to give W4, but can there be no withholdings? Yes. When is that? If both the following conditions are met. What is that? You have no federal tax liability for the last year. That is for 2019. You must not have any federal tax liability. Just ask the team to reply to YouTube comments. You have no federal tax liability for the last year and you expect to have no federal tax liability in 2020. Now, that expectation will be correct only when there is a confirmation. Right? Based on this information, you must not arrive at a confirmation. You must consult an expert and let the expert confirm that you will not have any federal tax liability for the current year. Right? Assuming you had no tax liability for the previous year. Only in that case, there can be no withholdings. Now, even in that case, should I still submit my W4 form? Yes, you will have to write the words exempt on form W4 in space below step 4C. And then complete steps 1A, 1B and 5 and no other steps for the tax year 2020. And then submit a new W4 form next year, that is for 2021 by February 16th. Now, see, there are two ways, how you can submit a W4 form. So, you have the W4 app estimator and you have a manual submission. Yeah. You may feel that, the W4 online thing, it's very easy, but practically speaking, unless you are somebody with 3 jobs or more, I personally don't recommend, going with the W4 app estimator. I would rather encourage you, to do it manually. And at iLead, we do it for free, right? So why not get in touch with us? Fine. Now, when to use the W4 app estimator? Fine, this is how you do it. When you expect to work only for the part of the year, right? You expect to work only for the part of the year. You have dividend or capital gain income or self-employment income. You have additional taxes, or you prefer the most accurate withholding for multiple job situations. So as I told you, if you are somebody who has 3 or more jobs, I think going with the W4 app estimator would be the right thing for you. And just to remind you, today is the last date for people who are filing their extended tax returns. Okay, individuals or corporations, October 15th. Today is the last day. So if you still know somebody who is not aware of this, please WhatsApp and my team will be happy to help you. Okay. Now, are the rules same for non-residents too? Okay. Are the rules same for non-residents too? Now, non-residents, whom do I mean by non-residents? Okay, I made a separate video wherein I have explained about residential status and all. Okay, 7 things to know while filing a 1040, so I encourage you to watch that. I'll put the thumbnail in a while from now, but that is something I certainly encourage you to watch. Okay, so that you understand who is a resident, who is a non-resident. Okay, now non-residents, what should the non-residents do? Non-residents cannot write exempt on Form W4. They cannot write exempt. Even they will be subject to withholding. So even if they are married, they will be subject to taxes like single. Okay. Now it says non-residents must claim only single as filing status even though they are married. So the taxes must be withheld mandatorily. Okay. Now something that you must remember, that US has tax treaty with many countries. Now India is one of them. So if you are a student, or a business apprentice from India, there is a way you can avoid taxes. Contact us and we will tell you. Because of the tax treaty that exists between USA and India, you can save on your withholdings. Okay. And then finally, non-residents are exempt from mandatory federal tax withholdings if he or she is present in the US for less than 90 days and was paid less than $3,000 for the work or services for the entire year. And in those cases, these people will be issued Form 1042S instead of Form W2, or they may also get W2 also. It depends on whom they are working with. Okay, so these are the things that if you are a non-resident, that you must be keeping in mind. Okay. Now, coming back to W4, do not forget those 4 steps. The 5th step is you just got to sign that and give a declaration. We will come to W4 in a while. Now, when we are filling the W4, if you pay careful attention to Form W4, this is how it looks like, right? The step 1, it talks about personal information. Now step 2, you see, it says, only if you hold more than one job, right? Only if you hold more than one job, or if you are MFJ and your spouse also working, only in that case complete step 2. That's what it says, right? I'll come back to you on that in a while. Then step 3, it says dependents. So in case you have kids below 17 years of age, you got to update this. In case you have any other dependents, even then it comes into picture. And then step 4 is in case you have any other income and then you are claiming any deductions, right? The standard deduction or adjustments or anything like that, you got to enter in 4B. And then in case you want any extra withholding also, that is also something you must look into, just to make sure that you are not under withholding your taxes, and that the right amount of taxes are withheld from your paycheck for the every pay period. And then of course finally step 5 is just the signing. And then there are multiple job worksheets, so in case both husband and wife are working, they need to fill this up. Step 2B. Okay, we will take an example there. And then you have a deductions worksheet also. This is a computation once you calculate this, you will come back to W4 form on step 4B and enter it here. Okay, so that's an exercise. We will be doing it separately. Now, this is something I teach my students also, and I very much encourage my clients also to know this. I call this as the ABCDE. These are the tax eliminators. These are like fantastic 5. What are these? Okay, I call them as adjustments, benefits, credits, deductions, exemptions, or exclusions. Okay, so whoever you are, it is very important that you save your taxes, right? There are many ways how you can do good to any country. Now, what are these adjustments and deductions? Okay, these are the adjustments. Okay, so I'm not going to discuss everything, all these adjustments. I encourage you to please watch this video. It is there on YouTube and also on Facebook. Please go to iLead Tax LLC on YouTube. You will be watching this video, completely there. You have the complete video given there, so I encourage you to please watch this video. But just to give you a brief overview of this is what the adjustments and deductions looks like. Okay. Now adjustments, see, educator expenses. Okay, so if you and your spouse both are teachers, you get $250 each. And if you are somebody who has invested into health savings account, you get, for self coverage you get 3,550, and for family coverage you get 7,100. And if you are somebody who is an independent contractor or something who has income on 1099, you have to pay self-employment taxes, and not only that, you also get a 50% of self-employment taxes as deduction. And if you are somebody investing into IRA or something like that, you get $6,000 as the deduction. That is the contribution that you make to IRA. I mean, if you are 50 or 50 plus, you can make catch-up contribution also. That will be another $1,000, so it will be 7,000 in that case. And then penalty on early withdrawal of savings. I mean, any deposits that we make, any time deposits we make, it's bound by time. So in case you withdraw it before that, then you are required to pay a penalty, and in case you pay a penalty, that penalty is also allowed as a deduction. And then student loan interest deduction. Okay, student loan interest deduction. So in case you are pursuing some education in the USA, you've taken some loan, and you want to claim that interest, you should have Form 1098T. I have discussed this at length in the other video. And just again, as I am reiterating it, this is just to educate all the tax filers that there are so many things that they are missing out. Okay, you might be paying some online portal, a few dollars, and thinking that okay, you have complied with. I mean, that's incomplete, right? And there are CPAs, there are enrolled agents, there are attorneys who just study this, who just survive on this, and this is their life day in and day out. So if online portals have to do everything, then I leave it to your wisdom to give a better judgment. Right? Okay. Now, tuition and fees reduction. You have temporarily put it on hold, but normally it's $4,000. And then for self-employed people, self-employed pension plan, and then simple savings inside, match plan for employees, that's the retirement plan. Now, all these are for self-employed people. Of course, alimony, that's they want to score out now. But still, there's a deduction for that for the previous years. Now, when we come to deductions, when we say deductions, so the other ones that you're seeing are the adjustments. Okay, they are also called as above the line adjustments or above the line deductions. Okay, so they are called adjustments to income. You adjust the income. Now you have something called as deduction. Now what are these deductions? Okay, deductions, two types: standard deduction or itemized deduction. Okay, but you got to pick only one. Okay, now Nanda, how do I know that? Okay, this is how you know it. Okay, for 2020, the standard deduction for single is 12,400. And for MFJ, it is 24,800, and head of household 18,650. Okay, I think I've just explained to you a while ago, who these people are, how that works, right? Single and MFS, they go hand in hand. They get the same standard, the standard deduction. Then MFJ and QW, I mean qualified widower or married filing jointly, they fall into the same category. Then head of household, they fall into another category. Now, interesting topic here is itemized deductions. Okay, so itemized deductions, there's a separate schedule. I think I've clearly explained this in the the 7 things video. If you want more information, I would encourage you to please watch that video. Right. So just to give you a rough idea here. Okay. Wow, we are getting so many questions. Yeah, our team will be addressing the questions shortly on YouTube and on the Facebook. Yeah. Please WhatsApp. Now, itemized deductions. You see here, medical and dental expenses. Right. Medical and dental expenses. I mean, given the current pandemic, I'm sure there might be some medical expenses with some clients. So in case you have incurred anything on that, you can claim it if they are more than 7.5% of your adjusted gross income. I mean, whatever are the adjustments after deducting this, whatever is your income. So in our example, we took as 60,000, right? 60,000 was your wage income. So assuming your adjustments are like 10,000, so 50,000 is your adjusted gross income. Are you with me, right? 50,000 is your adjusted gross income. So if you have incurred more than 7.5% of that $50,000, so 7.5% of 50,000 is what, 3,750 or something, right? So if you have incurred more than 3,750, so let's say $5,000 you are incurred on medical expenses, so in that case you will claim $1,250. Clear? 1,250 will be your net outflow that will come as medical and dental expenses. So you are not free to assume that whatever expenses you have incurred on for medical purposes, you can claim that. I mean, getting cold or fever or any other normal illness, I think that's part of our life, right? That's a human thing. Now we can't be expecting deductions for every minor thing. But it has to be a little significant, and that little significant has to cross that 7.5% of the AGI. Next, taxes you pay. Now they call it as SALT, meaning state and local taxes. These are limited to only $10,000. You can't claim more than that, right? You can't claim more than that. Next, interest you pay. Interest you pay, like the home mortgage interest. So if you have a property, home mortgage interest, the points, then the home mortgage insurance, whatever you have paid, and then the gifts to charity. Gifts to charity, I mean, given the current economic crisis, I think many people have been generous. They have opened their hearts and also their pockets, right? So if there was room for generosity, I think there is room for prosperity also, right? Through ABCD, adjustments, benefits, credits, deductions, and then exemptions. And then casualty and theft losses, inevitable, right? At some places, right? We have seen all the casualty got being crazy this year, right? And then last is other itemized deductions. So all these deductions can be leveraged on your tax return. So as I told you a while ago, I encourage you to please watch this video. Please do like our page on Facebook, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you get all these tax updates. We are very passionate in giving you the information. Now the question is, are you patient in gaining that information? Okay, that's a question. I leave it for you to answer. Okay, I hope you appreciate these sessions. Okay, now the next one is number 6, tax implication of getting W2 from multiple states. What happens? How does this work? Okay, now here we got to understand certain tax terms. Okay, when it comes to state taxes. Okay, now when it is federal taxes, it is like, are you a resident alien or a non-resident alien, right? Resident or a non-resident alien. Of course, if you are a senior citizen, I mean 65 years or more, then you file Form 1040 SR, of course. But again, are you a resident or a non-resident? So if you are a resident, you got to file 1040, and if you are a non-resident, you got to file 1040 NR. Now, how does it work with the states? Okay, so people who are working in the US taxation also for the very first time, I'm sure you must have been trained on it. But just to let you know, there's, 50 states. Right? The rules differ from state to state. Okay, and many states, they don't agree with each other also. There are certain credits which are not always allowed. Certain benefits, certain deductions. There's a fight, that goes on, and people who have been in the industry for a long time will certainly know about it. Okay, but these are the terms that I want you to know, which I want you to understand. Okay, full year resident, part year resident, non-resident. Okay, let's look at these 3 items. Okay, full year, part year, and then non-resident. So as of now, let's say that a non-resident is somebody who has been in a particular state for less than 2 months. Less than 2 months. Okay. Now, part year resident, let's say less than 6 months, and full year resident is somebody who has been in that state only, or from the time he came, or who has been in that state for more than 6 months. Okay, just for easiness of understanding, not everyone would be going from state to state, unless they are very badly hit, with a pandemic like this or a job loss or something like that. My regards to you. Okay. So give us an opportunity, while we empathize on your loss, give us an opportunity how we can optimize on the opportunity that is available. Okay. Now the other one that you see here is like other state tax credit, and then the reciprocal agreements. Now, what do you mean by other state tax credit? Okay. Now let's say The person is based out of New Jersey, okay, New Jersey, and is getting his W-2 from New York. I mean, in JNY cases, right? Many of you must have seen that. Now, you're getting your income from New York, but you are residing in New Jersey, right? So, the employer will withhold the taxes for New York, but because you are staying in New Jersey, you got to pay taxes in New Jersey, right? So, you must be thinking as a customer, I'm paying taxes. I mean, as a taxpayer, you must be thinking that I'm paying taxes at both the places, at New Jersey as well as New York. Hey, wait, there is a way. Whatever taxes you are paying to New York, you can claim it. I mean, not incomplete, I mean, based on certain calculations, the taxes that you have paid to the non-resident state can be claimed as a credit in the resident state. Getting it? Can be claimed as a credit in the resident state. So, in the state of New Jersey, once you compute your full state tax liability as a fully resident, let us say, okay, the taxes that you have paid to the non-resident state will come as a credit here, okay. That credit is called other state tax credit. So just like foreign tax credit, especially we have people from Infosys, HCL, I mean Wipro, TCS, Cognizant, and all. So especially Infosys, okay, they have most of them, they have wage income from India, right? Now, when you have wage income from India, the taxes are withheld in India, right? And the same income, because he is a citizen or resident of US, the income has to come to tax on his US tax return, that's the citizen or resident tax return. I mean, don't you think he's paying taxes at both the places? Yes. Now, even in that situation, to avoid the double taxation, there is something called as foreign tax credit, and that is Form 1116. Is that clear to you, right? So, similarly, on the similar lines, so if you have income from both the countries, let us know. I am coming there. Okay, I'll guide you on that also. As of now, we are just talking about the states. So, this is called other state tax credit. Okay, and in case you are residing in a state like New Jersey, but you get income from Pennsylvania, let's say Pennsylvania. Okay, now employer is supposed to withhold the taxes for Pennsylvania, but you are residing in New Jersey, right? Now, when you're filing your taxes, now these two are like friendly states, right? So they say that, hey, Pennsylvania says, hey, because you're from New Jersey, I'm not going to charge you anything here in Pennsylvania. So in Pennsylvania, though the employer has withheld the taxes, you will get a full refund of taxes when you file your Pennsylvania state tax return. You're getting it? The competitors must be thinking, this fellow is talking everything about taxes. But what I've experienced is, when we share knowledge, we do not only attract talent, but we also attract business. We also attract business. We don't only, attracting talent to deliver value, and attracting business also to deliver value, right? So we are not afraid of sharing the information. So I think it's a right. One of the fundamental rights is the right to information. Publication 1, it says the right to information. Taxpayer should have the information about all these things. If you're not educating your client well, I think that's not a proper practice. And if you're not guiding your team well, I think you will not be able to serve your clients also well, right? So reciprocal agreement is that. So in our case, NJ and PA, New Jersey and then Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania gives you a full refund. New Jersey, you pay full taxes, right? So that's about the state taxes. From there, we go on to maximizing your paycheck. Okay, I just told you a while ago, how a paycheck looks like, right? I think I showed you a paycheck. This is how the paycheck looks like. Now you see here, you have your 401k contributions. Then there will be some cafeteria plans. Then there will be some flexible spending account contributions that you can make. And then if you are a non-resident, you can, especially if you are a student or somebody, you can avoid the FICA taxes and all. So there are different ways, how you can optimize your paycheck. But if you ask me, the best way how, somebody can maximize on their paycheck, I would tell you, you should talk to us, because this is not something, that I can tell you, just like that, like how I've told you all the concepts, because your filing status, your income status, your family status, the state where you're residing, all these factors has to be looked into. And we also have to see, if there's any flexibility that can be offered, because normally what happens is, even if you're residing in multiple states also, you can always talk to your employer. You can always talk to your employer and see if you can avoid taxes in the other state and get the taxes deducted only for the states that you are residing. Okay, for that a consultation is needed, right? And also if you are somebody in a tax free state, like those 9 states what I told you, fast NW, right? Florida, Alaska and all that, right? Those 9 states, if you are residing there, then the question of state and local taxes doesn't arise at all. So to maximize the paycheck, there are certain pre-tax contributions which I would definitely want you to recommend without making much investment. And it is not going to be a post-tax contribution, but it is going to be a pre-tax contribution, right? I love what Sir Alan Greenspan says. Okay, this is what he says: the number one problem in today's generation and economy is the lack of financial literacy. What do you say? What do you say? Did your tax consultant give you so much information? I mean, this is a live session and we are giving you so much information because we run an academy and also an LLC, right? We serve our clients and we also produce professionals. I mean, that's our business. I mean, does your accountant tell you all this information? Did you find all this information at some place? Please let us know. If you found it at one place, I'll be happy to learn from it, right? Now, how can you make this better? How can you be financially literate? Okay, discuss with our iPlan tax expert. I mean, there are so many things that you must be looking into. I mean, all this, whether it's your marriage, maternity, car or home purchase, stock options, you want to buy health insurance, go for, understand the tax implications of the stock options that is issued by your employer, and then, the NRE, NRO accounts, NRO accounts, and then net pay planning, multi-state tax planning, and then 401k distributions, HSA, then 529 plan for kids, then should you be on W2 or 1099, then sale of property. I mean, in these situations, we have seen so many people, disposing of property, sending money from India to US, US to India. I mean, if you want to understand the tax implication of, how that works, do you think you can just go to some online portal or do some Google and you will try to get that information? I think you should talk to somebody who has got his hands dirty, doing all those things, or who has got his hands holy doing all those things, right? Right. Then what happens, when there's gift and we have clients, whose kids are gifted. I mean, we also serve, many celebrities also from the film industry. But still, I mean, the kids are also amazing. They have income. Now, how do you account for their taxes, right? So that's also something that you got to leverage. And then foreign income exclusion or credit. I mean, especially for the expatriates, right? Or should we go for credit or should we go for deduction? I mean, it's only a tax consultant who can tell you. Then the FBAR or FATCA compliance, I'm coming there. I think I told you about ITIN. So in case you or your spouse or your dependents, they do not have the ITIN, right? I mean, they don't have the SSN. I think you should go for the ITIN, right? And we can help you with that. Then high net worth tax planning, like in case you're going for estate tax planning, or you want to use your personal home for LLC, or you want to set up a new business entity, form a trust, or know more about any other COVID tax relief, I think you should contact our office without any further delay. I mean, how do you optimize your paycheck, unless you discuss with somebody, right? So I request you to please take benefit of this. And the next one, 8th one, ensuring tax compliance along with the tax filing. What do I mean by this? I have just taken 2 situations here. I want to talk about FBAR and FATCA. Now, these are not tax returns. Please remember, these are not tax returns. I mean, these are just reports or statements. So if you are somebody who is a US citizen or a resident, okay, and if you have more than $10,000, outside of USA, you got to file FBAR. And if you are having more than $50,000 outside of USA, then you got to file something called FATCA. Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act is FATCA. That's filed on Form 8938, and then FBAR, we go with FinCEN, okay, Financial Criminal Enforcement Network, right? It's a FinCEN form in case you have more than $10,000 outside of USA. And then comes, the tax implications of 1099 miscellaneous and foreign income. Okay, you might be somebody who has come to US for the very first time, but still, you may uh, be also working. I mean, if you are on green card or if you are a US citizen also, you may be on W2, and you may also have 1099, unless it doesn't breach your employment terms, right? There's every possibility. Or you may be on W2 and your wife may be on a 1099. She may want to start some business, right? IT is known for it, right? So how do we, calculate in those cases, and what happens, when there's foreign income? Now, especially, 1099 miscellaneous is for non-employee compensation, especially independent contractors, and these people, they are subject to self-employment taxes at the rate of 15.3% on the net income that they make, and just because they pay that 15.3%, they get 50% of that as above the line deduction. I think I told you it's an adjustment to income. The self-employment taxes come as an adjustment to income. Okay, so this is with the Form 1099 miscellaneous, and then the foreign income, as I told you a while ago, just to avoid the double taxes, you will have Form 2555 and then Form 1116. I mean, it depends on you, based on the advice that you get from your tax accountant, which one is better for you. So you need to talk to your tax accountant, to your CPA or an enrolled agent to understand whether you should go with Form 2555 or Form 1116, so that you avoid the double taxation, right? And then finally we come to the last section, focusing on the tax planning and compliance and not on the tax filing. See, filing is more of a formality. If you ask me, filing is more of a formality, but planning is the real thing. Is the real thing. I mean, that is what is structuring your finance, right? Financial structuring, financial planning. And plan your taxes properly, and it doesn't cost too much, right? So for the cost that you pay for filing, you get your planning done. So why worry about it? So talk to our iPlan tax expert today and see how you can be benefited. Okay. Now there were, people say that these are the 5 reasons they do business with us: price, quality, refund, service, and trust. So I want you to confirm on this, and it is like Sir Albert Einstein's words. They say that the hardest thing to understand in the world is income tax, but we want to prove the sir wrong. So we do our best to make sure that we make the taxes easy with these kind of tax talks. Okay. So I encourage you to schedule a complimentary consultation to discuss your personal or business tax situation with our tax consultant. And I encourage you to please sign up for this program, iPlan tax program. We call it as iPlan tax program. As you see, it just costs you $5 a month. Okay, and it starts with $2 actually, $2 per month for federal, $2 for state, and $1 for any other service. And any other service, you get all this: FBAR compliance, FATCA reporting, local taxes, any other schedules, ITIN, or any other country taxes in case you're looking, if you have somebody from India or something. And there's no hidden cost, and you just pay as per plan. And if you're interested, please WhatsApp 234 hi iLead, and our team will be more than happy to assist you. Okay. Now I had some bonus learnings for you. The W4 form. How do you fill out a W4 form, and what is it that is missing in the W4 form which doesn't get captured? Okay. So I'll be happy to train you on that in our next session. So I encourage you to stay tuned, because what happens is, in a W4 form there are different permutations and combinations, as you see here. You may be single, you may be married, you may have one. You may not have the other one, right? The adjustments, benefits, credits, reductions, and all. So stay tuned. We will be doing some number crunching in the next session. So most likely sometime this week or in the next week, I'll be coming live again, and we will be doing how to fill a W4 form, right? A W4 form, ensure the compliance. And what's missing in W4 is, it doesn't tell you how much taxes it gets with it. Okay, so I want to also guide you on, how much taxes will be withheld. I mean, how does the employer, how do you look at it from an employer's perspective? Okay, so please do like our Facebook page, comment your thoughts, share your thoughts, how we can make it interesting. And I truly appreciate, you being with us for such a long time. Thank you very much, and I hope you have enjoyed this session. And in case you have any thoughts, any ideas to make this program, even further interesting, please write to me. I'm Nanda Kumar KV at iLeadTax.com, and you can also write to us at iPlan@iLeadTax.com. Okay, I hope that today's video will be a great eye opener for all the first time filers and people who want to maximize on their paycheck, what they are missing out on that. And please don't miss out on that 7 things that you must be watching. Okay, thank you very much for watching us today, staying in live, and please share with all your friends, family. Tag 3 people and let us know what you think about this video. Yeah, thank you very much. Until we catch up for the next video. Take care. Bye bye.